Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All this scheduling stuff is new, so I'm a minute late. All right, let's see who's going to jump on here. I need to do this so I can pay attention. Pop out, chat. And let's put that there. And let's move this kind of over here. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. Trying to resize Windows and make all this more user friendly. Good morning, Deli Sandwich. How's it going? Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. I need a giant arrow pointing me back up to the camera. I get looking at screens and I forget that you guys are here, so let me move this closer. Let's see if that works. Good morning, everybody. Captain, Christy, good morning. Running on fumes and caffeine this morning. Extra strong coffee. How's everybody doing this Saturday morning? It's funny, you don't realize ambient noises, and I need to turn that off. I don't know where the remote is. Until you start watching these videos back, and you're like, oh my God, my chair is noisy. Captain Anxious, if you watched Lushman and Mark last night, it was off the hook. I got some notes, so the faster that I write, my dyslexia kicks in, and it's like my handwriting turns into chicken scratch chickens wouldn't recognize. But I did get to stop at Buc-ee's yesterday. The only highlight of the trip, and got a new shirt. Love Buc-ee's. You guys have a Buc-ee's where you're at or close by? Buc-ee's gas station, if you don't know what that is. I don't know what my voice is doing this morning, but it's like 3 octaves lower than what it normally is. Waiting for some more people to join in. Did you guys get the notification that I was going live? I hope that worked out. Let me know if you got a notification. I may need to schedule them further out. You're in Illinois. We have nothing good here. You're there, so there's something good. I have some of my wife's family are in Illinois. Her uncle, he's in his 70s and he kind of lives in a bubble. He has some land. So he just kind of lives in his own world. And then she has a cousin and an aunt, and they live, I believe, in the suburb of Chicago, and their taxes are getting so ridiculous that they're more than likely going to have to move, and they've lived there all their life. So, good morning from Southern Illinois, Brian. Good morning. Good Morning, everybody. Thank you for joining in this morning. We'll get started here in a minute with stuff and let a few more people jump in here. It was hot in Dallas yesterday. It was 100 degrees or more. The car said 100 degrees, so I'm guessing it was a little more. So yeah, I did that video, and it was a brand new Wagoneer, Jeep Wagoneer that I ran to do this trip, and the CarPlay was very responsive as far as talking. Like, and that car was so quiet, it was bizarre. Because I'm used to, we have Jeep Wranglers. My wife's is a soft top, mine's a hard top, but they're both lifted and noisy. And so then you go and get in this brand new quiet Wagoneer, just kind of floats down the road. And I'm like, I look down like at least 3 times on a trip home, and I was doing 105, and I'm like, it's like I didn't even realize it. So, but the point is the CarPlay system in it was like very responsive. I didn't have to raise my voice to talk on the intercom or whatever. And then it was doing talk to text as well. So I was almost home last night, and I just got done watching Mark and Militiaman, and so I wanted to jump on and do a quick update. And so I recorded this video, and a little emotional, and then to get uploaded as I'm driving, I just uploaded to YouTube, and then it was like start getting comments. There was no audio, so I got home and I was going to upload it again, thinking it was just something I did in the upload process. But then when I played the raw video, there was no sound, so I was like, all right, I'm going to bed. That's fun. Good times. All right, so we got a few people in here, so we'll go ahead and dive in because I don't want to occupy you guys this morning. All right, Gunny, I did Victoria, Texas. Just happened to wake up and jumped on. Awesome. Breakaways from Tennessee. I love Tennessee. Gatlinburg. A lot of good memories there. All right, so jumping in. So I finally watched, it wasn't Frank's last video, but it was one before that. Forgive me, I don't remember what day it was. But I skimmed through until I find him doing the Eddie talk. So there are new payment cards in Iraq for salaries and things like that. If they're not live, when they do go live, they're reportedly supposed to be at the new rate. And Frank's thoughts on the historical census that they're saying is going to happen in November. He believes that it's already been completed, and that Militiaman kind of touched on that as well. And then Sudani, and this is a big deal in the Middle East, swore to Allah that twice that the new rate would come out in 2024. And, fortunately, in America, in the United States, Western civilization, swearing, taking God's name in vain and stuff like that, it's not I guess, as sacred as it is in the Middle East. So for the leader of a nation to publicly swear to Allah that something is going to get done, you can take it to the bank that more than likely it's going to get done. Hope you guys can hear me. Let me bring this a little bit closer. My voice is not cooperating. What else? So, and then from Militiaman last night, so the 23, 24, 25 budget, the operational side was secure, live, and active from day one. So we all know they're operating on two different books. Operationally, trade with other nations, the development road project, the deals they're doing with Turkey, and things like that. That's the operational side, and they're operating in a new rate. Now, we're waiting obviously for the rate to come to the public side. So those are the two books. So on the public side, they're still working at 1310. On the operational side, they're at the new rate, and they must have some really severe NDAs because they're keeping a lid on that new rate. Some other things. Okay, so Mushman was talking about Article 140 out of Iraq regarding to displaced Iraqis. So these payment cards that they have, they made 40 million of them, and that's more than the population of Iraq, because I've gathered that he's speculating that they made them for Iraqi citizens and then Iraqi citizens abroad. And I remember that kind of triggered a memory about, gosh, it's probably maybe have been 6 months ago. Frank was talking about Sudani had made a public push for Iraqis that are abroad to return back to Iraq, especially doctors and professionals, because with the new Iraq that's going to be unfolding with the new rate, that they were going to need these professionals back inside of Iraq to help their country grow. So Article 140 is basically people who were displaced because of the Gulf Wars, and their properties or lands were lost. I think this is kind of like a reparation type article to either give them their lands back or compensation for what was lost due to the Gulf Wars. So that's pretty big. Another interesting thing that they were talking about, and Militiaman said that on average, they are opening around 10,000 new bank accounts a day inside of Iraq. And that's pretty big when you consider how much of a cash-based nation that Iraq is, because, there just hasn't been a need for banking. So they've gone from the stone ages of banking to cutting edge. I mean, they're like the newest, latest, and greatest banking systems are being developed and rolled out inside of Iraq. So that their digital transformation is staggering. And Militiaman kind of drove home with the point that, like, what's the most common basic thing for anyone in any nation is getting from point A to point B. So if you have a vehicle, you have to buy gas, fuel, petrol, whatever you want to call it. So I don't know if it's 100%, but the majority of all fuel transactions in Iraq are via debit card or credit card. So their digital transformation is in effect, and these the Iraqi citizens are using it point of sale, whether that's fuel or going in and grabbing a Snickers and a Coke or whatever they have over there. So it's in effect. So that's really good. And then the other thing about pulling dinar off of the streets is and destroying the 25K nodes, 50K nodes, whatever you're using. Is that sorry, my voice is really fighting me. Okay, so as these Iraqis are opening bank accounts, and then they're bringing in their wagon full of dinar to put in their bank accounts, that money, once they count it, verify it, and deposit it, it goes into a bag. It becomes digital, and then they send that bag of money off to the CBI to be destroyed. And that's how they're reducing inflation, and that's how they're pulling all this, trillions of dinar off the street. As these citizens are opening bank accounts, they take their dinar, digitize it, and then send their cash off to be destroyed. And then that goes back to in 2018. I can't remember the exact amount, but they spent millions of dollars producing the lower denominations cut sheets and coins. So they knew back then it was coming. It's just been delayed since then. Let's see what else. This is my last little bit of notes, and then we'll just dive into questions. Again, so XRP is tied to their currency, and this was probably the biggest takeaway from Militiaman last night, is that he was speaking to, and we've got this comment a lot, that Iraq doesn't hold enough US dollars to be paying out for the rate change. And this is the beauty of it, is that they don't have to physically hold it because of digital currency via XRP or whatever other form. And this kind of, I think he was hinting around to the QFS without saying QFS, is that and Frank has taught a lot about pairing and pegging. So the dinar used to be pegged to the US dollar. The oil for dollar and things like that. So now that they're free, they can pair it to other currencies. So if you're in France and you hold dinar, when they change the rate and you go to your bank to cash it in, it will be paired to whatever currency is in France, or if you're euros or whatever nation, your nation inserted there, it'll be paired to your currency's nation's currency. Dyslexia. And that's how that you'll be paid in your country. So in the United States, when I go to the bank to turn in my dinar, it'll be digitally paired to US dollars. And then that digital money will be deposited into my account. And therefore, Iraq doesn't have to, drop in $1 billion and mail it to me via FedEx. And that's how the transaction is done. It'll be done digitally. So I will take my dinar, give it to the bank. They will digitize it, and then they will pull from Iraq digital equivalent, and then that's how I get paid. And that has to be done via blockchains, XRP, XLM, QFS, whatever you want to call it. But it's all going to be done digitally and at the speed of light. So there's how Iraq is going to pay out all the currencies for rate changes. And it's going to be asset backed. So what does that tell us? It's got to be XRP, XLM, QFS, blockchain. So that when I heard that, it was like a big revelation. Big epiphany moment. The other thing that they touched on was that the whole thing with the coalition forces and the United States troops. Do they have to be pulled out and blah, blah, blah? No, they do not. I've been saying this for a while. All that has to be done is their role has to change. So instead of being the major police force in Iraq, the troops will transition from being the police force interfering in things, and their role will transition to being the security forces for the world's largest embassy, that is the United States Embassy in Iraq, protecting American bases. And so the roles will change without them having to be withdrawn. So that's when they talk about the coalition forces withdrawing or whatever. It's just that their role is going to change. So, okay, I'm exhausted. That's all my notes. So let's dive into your questions. Breakaways make sense. They have already distributed. Yes, payment cards, census. Yes, Captain, you are correct. Hopefully this chat, let me know if the chat replay is working for you. For most of the people who have been complaining that it hasn't been working, it seems to be fixed now. So I don't know what I did, but it's working. Okay. All right, guys, what do you got? Thoughts, questions, comments? Agree, disagree? It was very exciting last night. I was driving home and I was like, this is good. I just couldn't take notes. Christy, yes, I can't shake the feeling that this is the month for Iraq. And keep your eyes on Iraq. Always keep your eyes on Iraq. But I believe September is the month that we're going to see the rate change. And, I've been saying for a while that I think Iraq goes first. And that doesn't mean like a month ahead of the RV or a year ahead of the RV, but it could be days ahead of the RV. I think Iraq changing the rate is going to be the lighting the fuse for the RV. And it's not going to be a very long time that you're going to see it, all of it kick off. But I just have that nagging feeling that can't shake that Iraq is going to go first. Now, I'm perfectly fine with that. They deserve it with all the suffering that they've been put through at the hands of the Bushes and the corporation. They absolutely deserve it, in my opinion. Will they be spending off of the investment side of the budget on October 1st? I think if all these predictions are right and that this is the month for the rate change, you'll see the full-blown implementation of the budget come October 1st. And then remember, it's retroactive back to 23 when they passed it. So any fluctuations in market values and things like that have occurred since 23 when they passed the budget, those will be adjusted and paid back retroactively. So they did their homework when they made that budget in 23 and passed it. So it's going to be pretty wild when all this thing rolls out. What else you guys got? I appreciate your time, but it's early Saturday morning, and so I don't want to keep all y'all on here just to watch me drink coffee. But I do appreciate your time. All your comments, I good, bad, or ugly, I take them, listen, read them, take them in. If I can take the constructive criticism, I'll do it. If not, I'll just remove it. But I read all your guys' comments, and I do my best to respond to them. Yeah, Captain, I think we could see it today, tomorrow. And it's going to be, we have kind of a model of how Iraq does things. So their Saturday is their Sunday, so it's their day off. But when this rate change comes out, it's going to be, I think, kind of like a blitz. They're just going to do it and not give it any fanfare, and then just be like, there it is, boys. It is very exciting times. Yeah. Yeah, when you're a kid, you can't wake up on time, but then when you become an adult, you're like, have that biological clock that's like 3 a.m. Bing. I opened my eyes at 3 a.m. Then I closed them. Next thing I know, it was 4 a.m. So then my back was like, time to get up. Oh God, I don't want to set coat off. My dog, I have a German Shepherd, if you don't know, and if he hears a knock, I don't care where it is in the house, he will go ballistic. He's funny because we have like the privacy glass on our front door, so you can see through it if you're right up to it, but you can't see in. So it's like shadows. So like the Amazon drivers and all that, they'll walk up, how they set the package down, take a picture of it, and Coda will sit there and wait for him to get up to the door, and he's like, bah, 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 and he's like jumping up on the door, so it looks like a werewolf is trying to come through on the other side. they will like get in their car and leave. All right, 5-minute warning because I don't want to keep you guys on here. We've been here for a half hour. We're going to wrap it up. If you guys have any suggestions for lives, anything format wise you want me to do, say, do you want like I'm going to try to get better at giving a bigger notification. I need a rack to go so I can get, oh man, I'm telling you what, and Coda, God love his heart, he's allergic to anything overly processed. So like I can't buy dog food. He will not eat it. He scratches holes in himself. So I have to make his food. And I went on YouTube, like looking up all these food recipes, putting pumpkin in it and, different things. And he would nibble at it and whatever. So basically I make him hamburger and with the bacon grease, and he loves it. The only thing he'll eat, but it's like, God, at least $60 a week just for him and the hamburger, and that's from Costco, So yeah, I need a rack to go so I can continue to afford to feed him, but I can't imagine having multiple big dogs anyway. But yeah, I've spent hundreds of dollars on him at the vet trying to figure out what's wrong with him. And then just by process elimination, I figured it was just processed dog food. And now he's fine. All right, before we go, I'll get Coda in here. Coda. Let you guys see him. Come here. There he is. Let's see if you can see him. I don't use a lot of light in here. There he is. Say hello, Coda. All right, there's Coda. You can't see how big he is because I don't have all the lights on. Coda Schmoda. All right. There's my ugly face again. All right, guys. That's it for this morning. I appreciate y'all being on here. But I'm going to get off here and stop talking and drink coffee. All right. Thanks for joining. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Leave me some comments, like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, all those YouTube things. I greatly appreciate it, and we will see you guys on the next one.